Okay, so I don't know why people want to sit there and hold on to the past. We trying to go into E3, and this guy's sitting there still crying over the fact that I just destroyed him in a previous video, like 3 videos ago or something like that. I don't remember the day. But to be honest with you, dude, I'm gonna make this one reply, and I'm gonna call it a day. You know. But let's go over it. First of all, you was talking about how I said your name wrong. Dr. Trio was worried about how I said his name wrong. First of all, dude, you need to stop. First of all, at what point did you think he was important enough for me to actually go ahead and make the attempt to say your name correctly? You should be thankful. Don't worry about the fact that I said your name wrong, but be more thankful that I'm giving you the time of day. Seriously, that I'm giving you the time of day. Because truth be told, Mom, you're not that important. Seriously, you're a waste of not only my time, but my subscribers and my viewers' times as well. You're a waste of all of our time, dude. Real talk. I'm just being honest with you. I'm not trying to be all scolding. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to be honest with you, dude. Me making a reply to you is a waste of my time. And a waste of my subscribers' time and my viewers' time. So why should I anyway. But then you also mentioned that I was going ahead and I was saying Shokio's name wrong too. Yeah, I did say his name wrong, but at the same time, I was doing my best to say his name correctly. See, that's the difference. Shokio is actually relevant. He's actually worthwhile. You, on the other hand, dude, really, what am I getting out of making replies to you? Not a goddamn thing. Seriously. You get more out of me replying to you than I get out of you replying to me. Dead serious. Deal with it. Anyway, so let's put it this way. So first of all, he was crying about this. Well, I already told you. Anyway, he was crying about this. He said in the video, Truth and I were discussing Blu-ray. And he said that I said this, that Truth and I were discussing Blu-ray and digital distribution. And I said that we were not doing that. And he said that was a lie because if you actually look at my video, you can see that I was. Yeah, if you look at that same exact video, you'll notice that I mentioned that Truth was talking about HD streaming. In fact, here's his comment that proved that he was thinking about HD streaming. Take a look at the 3rd paragraph. Continuing on, he mentioned how I ripped about my rip on Batman Begins and how it didn't have STD, didn't have a DTS track on the movie, but my version had it. He was trying to I don't know what he was trying to get at, but my thing is this. Obviously, you don't know what conversion is. You don't know what conversion is. To convert something is to convert it from one thing to another. Just like you can also convert audio, you can also convert video as well. For example, you can convert a Blu-ray or DVD into an AVI, into an MPEG, into an WMV rather, or MKV. You can do all those. It's called conversion. It's not that hard. The computer pretty much does it for you. What else? Oh, and then he said, but then I single-handedly added an DTS track. No, that's also conversion. So it's like, seriously, it's like he was still stuck on that whole stupid thing. Well, obviously he didn't know anything about conversion, which brings me to the point of this. I kind of realized something. Now, basically, to make jokes, what he was doing was he was taking his camera and he would actually, this is what he was doing. If you guys remember Family Feud, right? You know how those X's come up there on Family Feud? What he would do is he would take the camera, took his camera, pointed to his television, and played it on his television, and then recorded it while it was on YouTube. On YouTube. And I was like, really? At first, I was like, then I saw the subscription button up top there, and I'm like, really, dude? So listen, my thing is this: if that is the best of your technology that you can do, what the hell makes me think that you know anything about Blu-ray? You know? Really, if you were sitting there with your camera pointing at the screen, what you know about it? You don't. Anyway, because now I think about it, dude, I have never seen you ever do anything except for stop motion video, which is basically turn the camera off, turn it back on, turn the camera off, turn it back on, turn it off, turn it on, or, and I'll give you the benefit of the doubt here, the only video editing that you have actually done before, as far as I've seen, is the fact that you've cut parts out. And that's benefit of the doubt. But here we go. Which is a format, by the way, that people have been using since what? 2004? But anyway, like I said before, I'm good. Let's keep on going. Now he was talking about formats, right? And he thought that now he was talking about how, what do you say? Oh, that DTS is better. He said that I said that DTS is better than Dolby Digital 5.1, which is actually what I said was DTS is better than Dolby Digital True HD 5.1. But then he responded with, it's not. Unless it's DTS HD Master Audio. Which, newsflash, dude, if we're talking about HD formats, wouldn't it not? Duh, dude. Like, what the hell? Like, of course I'm talking about the Master HD format. Why would I not be? Why would we be talking about Blu-ray and high definition video and then go ahead and just talk about regular DTS? It doesn't make any sense. Like, I apologize if I thought you were smart enough to figure that out, but maybe I just gave you too much credit, which apparently is the case. My bad. I don't know what else to tell you, dude. What else? He said that, he mentioned that I said that HD streaming is not digital distribution, which I do remember covering that at first, but then I kind of backtracked a little bit. I was like, nah, I'm not going to get that's another video. But the thing is, he said, I said it 10 minutes later. Dude, I didn't even mention HD streaming. I didn't mention it 2 minutes later, 3 minutes later, 4 minutes later. So what are you talking about? You know? Anyway, what else did he say? This is when he started getting desperate. Now, I do understand one part. I talk a lot. I talk fast, pretty much. So, I mean, to be honest with you, I can talk a lot faster than this, even though, I try to slow down for the YouTube thing, but the thing is, sometimes I trip over my words. And the fact of the matter is, when I trip over my words, sometimes I start mixing things up, and like I just did right there, and there you go. However, I did do this. He mentioned how I said most people own Apples, right? I did not really say that. I said most people who own Apples use it to read the news. And the elderly kind of outweighs the new age people who pick up Apples. I hate to break it to you. How do I know that? Well, let's go ahead and talk about the second one before I talk about that. You also said that I knew a lot of old ladies who read their newspapers on Apple computers. That's not what I said. I said I constantly getting calls by old ladies who constantly want to tell me about their computer and how all they do is read the news and email, and they couldn't do it. Yes, they call me because of that. You know why they call me? Because I work for Apple. That is the reason why they call me. Because they want me to troubleshoot their computer and get it working. Anyway, moving on. And for the record, yes, I do know old people because I do know old people who actually, I do know that the elderly uses Apple more. You know why? Because if I work for Apple, then obviously I have access to the database that is within Apple. So all the registered computers are the ones, most of the registered computers on Apple are in the age groups of like 50 and up, which does qualify a little bit for, definitely between 50 and 65 might be a little bit wishy-washy when it comes to classifying elderly, but you get the idea, So, and then you also mentioned this. I'm going to hit on two notes and I'll be done with this. He also said the customers decide on what is successful and what isn't. And yeah, you're kind of right, but it's up to the companies to market the choice and market their choice or product in such a way that the customer will believe that it is better and more beneficial for them, and thus then they will go ahead and choose. But then you also stated that when you mentioned that I said when technology rolls, people roll with it. Now, for some reason, you brought up HD DVD and Betamax. Now, I'm assuming that that was a joke that just fell short because I didn't understand the words you were talking about. What are you talking about, HD DVD and Betamax? What do they got to do with anything? But I guess their technology, something like. Anyway, so it's like this. Even though you said that, here's the thing about that. Since you did bring up HD DVD, that actually reminds me. Your comment makes no sense. Let's just put it out there. But at the same time, going back to the previous comment that you had mentioned, HD DVD also outsold Blu-ray for a good while now. It actually outsold Blu-ray for a good while. Now, yeah, Blu-ray won. But if you think about it like this, the customer pretty much chose who was the victor with their money, right? But at the same time, the reason why Blu-ray won is because it was the companies, the movie companies rather, who actually went ahead and decided to go with Blu-ray full time, which means that HD DVD was not getting the love that it was originally getting, which basically meant HD DVD, because they weren't getting all the movies such as Blu-ray was getting, exclusives, if you will, then that means that it had to fade out. So that's what happened. It faded out. That's the reason why HD DVD faded out. So what does that mean? That means basically was, here's the thing. If the companies pretty much made it so Blu-ray was the pretty much chosen format. Now, here's the thing. That choice was already made prior to the customer, even though the customers was already paying for more HD DVDs. So what do I mean by that? Simple. Let's go back to my original video and say a quote that I said earlier. If the customer no longer has an option, they will go ahead and take the option that is presented to them. Thank you very much for proving my point. I totally forgot about the whole Blu-ray and HD DVD. The reason why Blu-ray was in fact popular is because the choice was removed from their hands. The choice was removed. They no longer had the option of HD DVD, and at the time, digital distribution really wasn't into it in terms of as movies were. Now, last but not least, I want to talk about one particular thing, and then I'm done. He also mentioned that he said this: PC games have always been. He said PC games were cheaper than consoles for a very long time. If you qualify when the Xbox was released as a very long time, then yeah, I agree with you. But if that's not what you're talking about, dude, I hate to break it to you, but PC games, you know, the good ones, have always been $49.99 since, far as I don't really know. For a good while, I'll say that much. You know, they've always been $49.99. The only price that actually was risen when it comes to console games was when the Xbox was released. Now, with that being said, you know, of course, PlayStation 3 also was $59.99. But there. Anyway, so here's the thing. And he said that PC games and console games, hold on. Where was I at? Sorry, I lost my notes here. Oh, he said, but yeah, I do, he said, now listen, I know exactly why it was, why PC gaming is actually cheaper in terms of, you know, console gaming. But this guy said this: the reason why PC gaming is cheaper is because people buy more games on consoles. Really, dude? Are you that dumb? I'm trying not to speak bad about nobody. This is the thing, dude. The reason why console gaming is more expensive than PC gaming is because when you put a game on Xbox and PlayStation 3, you have to pay royalty fees to Microsoft and Sony respectively. How do you not know that? And last one, I'll tell you what, you don't believe me? Don't believe me. Here's a video from Pactor telling you what it's all about.
Why is it that PC games prices are mostly around $10 cheaper than console prices? Yeah, you know, I don't think we went through this in Game Econ 101 last season, but really good question. And the answer is that the console manufacturers charge a royalty for the privilege of putting a game on their console.
Now I know what some of you are thinking. Well, Zephyrnix, there was no point to this video. You're right, because there was no point to his video. It was like, okay, dude, here's the thing. Your video basically was basically was trying to make me look dumb or trying to counter, basically think, you know, oh, he said something, but that was stupid or that was silly. But at the same time, you did not really counter any of my valid points. Any of the points I made, you didn't even touch. So what was the point of the video? The answer is nothing. You're a waste of time. And that's all it is. So overall, dude, I'm done. Now, before I also want to talk about this, man. I do know the people. I got a lot of the emails. You know, mind you, I didn't even know about this video existed. I actually got a lot of the emails, and I do appreciate the guys who send me the emails. I got a lot, about 15 emails talking about how this guy dropped the N-bomb on me and was doing all that. And I ain't got nothing to say about it. I don't. You know why? Because Hard 8 Times. My bad. Hard 8 Times. Basically, he pretty much hit it on point, dude. And it's just another black man hating on another black man. That's all it is, man. So if you hate your race, man, hate your race, man. But don't bring it over here. Now, last but not least, dude. You know, I pretty much just proved you relevant. Proved you irrelevant, dude. You've been irrelevant since started, but honestly, dude, you're not worth my time. So you may go ahead and make a reply if you want, but I won't be watching it. I won't be attaching to my videos, and basically you'll be talking to yourself. Deal with it. I do apologize to my viewers and my subscribers for wasting your time. You guys have a good night. Zephyrnix is out.